What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here at PackersNews.com. I'm here with Pete Dougherty of the Green Bay Press-Gazette. Pete, the Packers making what can only be described as significant moves in the signing of free agent tight end Jimmy Graham, formerly of the Seahawks and the Saints, and the release of longtime fan favorite Jordy Nelson. First response, looking at it kind of face value, what's your takeaway here?
Yeah, fan favorite and Aaron Rodgers' favorite too. Takeaway is this reminiscent of Jared Cook. Should be able to bring at least what Cook brought to the offense. Now it's funny. I talked with a scout who works in that division a couple weeks ago. He was still pretty high on Graham. Thought real good red zone, all that. Then about a week later, talked to another guy. Wasn't real high on him. Said he didn't block. Said he was quitting on routes. I just didn't see it like Luke Wilson as much. Another guy out in Seattle as much as he liked Graham. So I'll be curious to see how he plays. I think he's turning. Is it 32?
Oh,
I
he's
think.
past 30. I know that.
Yeah, I think he turns 32 later this year. So I'll be curious how he does. But the one thing I've got to think is I don't know how much you saw Seattle play, but I was surprised how often they used him as an inline tight end. The guy doesn't even try to block.
No.
I'm assuming the Packers are going to be smart enough to basically use him more like a fourth receiver than a tight end, lining him up in the slot off, definitely not right on tackle, but, maybe as a split receiver. Just try to use him in other ways like that. And, McCarthy has talked a lot in the last couple of years about liking those big targets over the middle with the new
Right.
rules. He's calling tight end a premium position. And so he's got one of the more talented guys, even if he is an aging guy, too.
Now, you mentioned early on, that is a release in Nelson of one of Aaron Rodgers' closest friends on the team. Rodgers making little waves at the Super Bowl earlier this year in regards to the quarterback's coach not being kept, despite no one consulting with him on that move. Do you think, A, they talked to Rodgers about this beforehand, and B, should they have?
I don't know if they did. I think you probably at least want to talk to him and to brace him for it. You can't let him, he's not the personnel guy. You can't let the quarterback make your personnel decisions, but you might want to at least warn him it's coming or get his thoughts. So wouldn't be surprised, as you and I were talking just before we went on camera here. He was talking to Graham, reportedly talking to Graham about coming to the Packers. So, he had to know that. I mean, the guy was going to be expensive, and it could at least possibly cost one of his receivers a job. So he had to know that this was at least a possibility. And it's a big target. A guy who can stretch the middle of the field, and it's what this offense needs. So when they didn't do anything with Watkins or Robinson, this is basically the next best thing.
There you go. All the latest from Green Bay. Make sure you're checking PackersNews.com for all the latest. For Pete, I'm Aaron, and we'll talk to you soon.